Hi, I'm Craig and I'm a hypnotherapist here in Charlestown, New South Wales. I work a lot with smokers. I help people stop smoking, which is a wonderful thing that hypnotherapy achieves. And many ex-smokers say that quitting smoking was the hardest thing that they've ever done. But using hypnotherapy, we assist you to quit smoking for good. Hypnosis is a wonderful tool to use for smoking. Many people try many different methods, from patches, tablets, and all those things, but unfortunately, a lot of those things are simply replacing cigarettes with some other thing, some other tool, some other habit, but it's not always effective, and there's just an easier way is to use hypnosis. It's just a wonderful way to do it. So there are many different methods to stop smoking, as I said, and not all of them address the main three components that make quitting smoking so difficult. And those three are the physical, the mental, and the social. And if you don't address those issues, then failure to quit smoking or the chances of a relapse are significantly higher. Of course, it's the same if you're wanting to quit alcohol or reduce alcohol intake. So, the things that we need to look at when we're addressing assistance in stopping smoking, first of all, is the physical. And we know that cigarettes contain an addictive chemical called nicotine. And when you inhale that nicotine, it causes the release of another chemical that's called dopamine. And in the brain, that makes you feel good. Unfortunately, the dopamine wears off and these symptoms return, which causes the smoker to crave another cigarette. Smokers also build up a tolerance and a physical dependence on the nicotine, meaning that they must smoke more to feel the same effect. So during hypnotherapy, we replace nicotine with other techniques to enable you to feel good without the need for the drug. We can help you to learn how to meditate, how to relax more, and this enables you to stop smoking in a more relaxed way. Okay, then there's the mental. The act of smoking is often part of a daily routine. Smokers tend to light up at specific times of the day, often when drinking alcohol, when drinking coffee. Some people it's the first thing they do in the morning, some people it's the last thing they do at night. People sometimes smoke when they feel stressed because they've convinced themselves that cigarettes can make them feel better. Some people smoke cigarettes when they're tired and they feel that they can gain some energy by doing that. So cigarettes can become a crutch, almost like a steady friend that you can rely on. They can help you to stay on track in your mind and your imagination sometimes. So if we learn some of the triggers for you, that's where we can make some wonderful changes. And as I said, most people know what their triggers are anyway, be it coffee, alcohol, driving a car for some people. There's so many different triggers for so many different people, but generally speaking, there's only a certain number, and as I said, most smokers know what those are. So when we use the hypnotherapy sessions, we're able to break these routines. We're able to break those connections with smoking. We make those changes so you're no longer associating cigarettes with any of those things in the past. You can go on and you can enjoy a coffee or a drink of alcohol if you wish. And in fact, as the time goes by, it's only a very short time until your sense of smell starts to return to its normal level. The taste buds begin to repair themselves. And so many smokers tell me when they've stopped how it's amazing how much food tastes so much better. Their sense of taste especially returns. And when we do the stop smoking with hypnosis, I always ensure that one of the things I replace cigarettes with is drinking more water, because some people are concerned that they're going to stop smoking and they're going to start eating junk food or they're going to overeat. And that's simply not the case, because when we work together, we create an overall feeling of wellness, and we are able to enable you to start looking at yourself in a more healthy manner, and you start looking for healthier foods, a little bit more exercise, some meditation. So we try to increase your overall sense of wellness and your overall concern with your health. So I've never had anyone that I've worked with start to eat more food after we work together. That simply doesn't happen, and that's fantastic. People are really happy with that. As I said, they generally start drinking more water, because I always put that into the sessions, because as a lot of people realise, it's quite common in our society that people just don't drink enough water. I've worked with lots of different people. Lots of people that work outside can often drink more water, which is great. I've worked with a lot of tradies. I've worked with people that work outside on a daily basis, and they're often more aware of it than people that sit inside somewhere. They just get busy doing whatever they're doing, and they forget to drink enough water. So we always make sure we put that into the sessions so that you can start doing that. And the other point that I was going to make, the third thing, is social. Many smokers develop social groups around smoking, or they have friends that smoke, or people will head out for a smoke break. Often, as we know, if they work in an office, they'll all gather somewhere and have a cigarette together. So it's like that little time out from work, but we can still enable you to have a little walk. If you tell somebody that you're working with that you're giving up smoking, it can often make it easier, and they can support you, and they can help you, and they can still have a few minutes to have a chat, so you can still have that social component, but it's no longer associated with cigarettes. And also, some people use smoking as an icebreaker to assist in meeting people or approaching someone. But as we work together, we work on so many things, not just stopping smoking. So if there's any anxiety or social anxiety especially that you've got, we can start working on that at the same time, so that it can all come together nicely. As I said, we want to get an overall improvement in your health and well-being. There's no point me trying to get someone to stop smoking if they're extremely stressed. So I'll work with any stress or any anxiety that's in their life just to assist, because it's just going to help it become so much easier. So, as we said, we work together, we make all these changes, and then clients just come back to me and they say that it was so much easier than they expected. It's such a high success rate with stopping smoking with hypnotherapy, because it just makes it easier. And of course, there is still work. You still need to do some work, but it just makes it easier because, as I said, we've broken those connections and those old associations that you used to have with cigarettes. So sometimes when we work together, we also suggest making little changes at home. I often talk to people about, for example, I worked with some people that used to get home from work and they'd go and sit on their back veranda and they'd have a cigarette together, a husband and wife that I worked with. So we changed that. And all they simply did was to start sitting on their front veranda of an afternoon and having a chat, enjoying the outside air. But just that tiny little shift, moving from the back veranda to the front veranda, can sometimes make it a lot easier. And we also work with a lot of people smoke at night when they're bored. So we work at looking at what your hobbies or interests are, and we assist you to use them as well. And of course, I always put that into the hypnosis session, so that that part of your mind that used to think you're a smoker, and that part of your mind that used to decide to make you just smoke without you even really thinking about it, that old habit, will suddenly make that change. And in your mind, without you even having to do it, the mind will suddenly go, that's right, I'm not smoking, I'm doing a puzzle, or I'm doing a crossword, or I'm reading a book, doing something more beneficial, maybe walking or exercising. It's a matter of finding much healthier things to do with your time so that you can make those changes and make them easily. So, as I said, there's lots of different components to it when we work together to stop you smoking, but at the end of the day, all you have to do is to be willing to make the change, come along, and it's so much easier than you would expect. But you need to want to stop smoking. That is the main thing. If you are really not ready, then unfortunately it's going to take more time. You need to be willing to make that change. People are becoming more and more willing nowadays because, as we know, it's becoming less and less acceptable to smoke. so many areas when you're going out, restaurants, pubs, etc. You have to go to that special area. So it takes the pressure off too, because some people feel really bad about having to sneak out for a cigarette when so many friends no longer smoke. And of course there's the whole money thing, saving hundreds and hundreds of dollars every week. So if you would like to stop smoking, then why not reach out to me? We can make some changes, we can work out exactly what you need. We look at the overall plan, how we can make it as easy as possible for you. So when you're ready, just get in touch and I'll help you to make those changes. So thanks for listening. Bye.